And we are back. And we finished 1980s cult classic. Flash Gordon. 1980.
1980. Yes.
It's rated PG with a runtime of 1 hour and 51 minutes. This is still a goddamn delight.
Yeah, it's still fun. It's silly.
Although other people didn't feel that way.
Yeah.
I didn't say that the movie was trash. I was saying that, well, it is trash. But it's trash that's enjoyable.
How dare you?
Listen, it's trash that's enjoyable.
Okay.
I like laughing at horrible special effects. This movie has the worst special effects ever.
We should just do, going forward with the children, just like all the 80s, like Black Hole, the Disney Black Hole. We should do Excalibur.
I got to be honest. I don't remember much about Black Hole. I remember liking the little robots, but at the end, I just remember being baffled.
Right. Well, that movie's kind of all over the place because it's like a space sci-fi thing, but it's also there's a lot of like religious elements to that movie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at the end they're going through hell, like literal hell.
Yeah, that was a weird movie. Yeah. But I mean, I haven't seen it since the theater. I'd be curious to watch it again.
Okay, we're not talking about the Black Hole.
Oh, yes.
Though.
No, we're not talking about the Black Hole. We're talking about
Flash.
Whoa.
Woo! Nice.
Mm-hmm.
This is directed by Mike Hodges with a screenplay credit to Lorenzo Semple Jr., Michael Allin, Alex Raymond, and based off the character by Alex Raymond. This stars Sam Jones as Flash Gordon, a quarterback, was it?
Quarterback for the New York Jets.
Jets.
Yeah.
Yup. Aren't they like the worst?
They're not the worst.
They're like
they
may be the worst. They're probably cursed. They just spent like millions of dollars on a like a world famous quarterback, and he like tore his ACL in the first game after 4 plays.
That's crazy.
He used to play for a different team. I forgot what the hell his name was.
I don't remember.
I'm not a football guy.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers.
They bought him?
Yeah, I think it was him.
Ooh, I don't like him. I don't like him.
I don't like that.
I don't like that.
4 plays in. Yeah.
This is the story of Flash Gordon, who is the quarterback for the New York Jets, who finds himself kind of a strange position, being, I guess, kidnapped by
a crazy scientist who is the only person on Earth who seems to understand that the weird weather attacks we're having are actual attacks from a extraterrestrial origin. And despite being a genius, his genius plan is, I'm going to go on a rocket ship with my handgun and I'm going to stop what's happening.
Because that'll work. Yeah.
Hey,
he gave it a
Zarkov.
try.
He was the good guy with the gun.
Yeah.
And the good guy with the gun.
He's a crazy good guy with a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't really amount to anything.
No, the gun got disintegrated in the first.
Well, he should have kept his plan to himself because the all-seeing
He really
wall,
should have. Like they literally
listened
heard the little floaty thing speaking in English and everything, and they were still like, "Oh, we can totally talk in front of this thing on here." Like, please be smart.
One of my I saw this in the theater and loved it, and always caught it on Channel 11 whenever it replayed.
Yeah,
and to this day, I still love this movie. And I think that Max von Sydow is, bar none, the best Ming the Merciless. I don't know who or how they got this man whose pedigree is like some pretty intense films.
Yeah.
But I don't know how they got this man to do this film, but whoever did that needed like a huge pay raise.
But
because he elevated this film to art.
Yeah. But to be fair, I feel like maybe during this time he was probably saying, you know what, I'll just do anything. Because
what was that other movie
he was in Strange Brew.
Was he?
He was the brewmeister in Strange Brew. He like crushed a man's head with his.
We may have to do like 80s Von Sydow. Wasn't he in that other what was that movie? Like he owned like a curious shop. And
yes,
like a small town.
Needful Things.
Needful Things. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But he's like sinister in that too.
I think he's the devil.
Yeah.
In that. Yeah. I've never seen
in
it.
that Rick and Morty episode?
That Rick and Morty episode is a complete ripoff of Needful Things. In fact, the store in Rick and Morty wasn't it called like Needful Things?
I think so. That sounds familiar.
Yeah. I saw that in the theater and enjoyed it immensely, and they don't really play that a lot.
No.
I gotta find that.
It's one of like the lesser shown movies.
You know what other movie I really loved? Something Wicked This Way Comes.
That was good. That was Jonathan
excellent.
Pryce.
Jonathan Pryce. They don't stream that anywhere either. Like what the hell? We might have to just break down and buy it.
We're going on huge
We're going off on
divergence here
huge
once
tangents
again.
once again because this is just such a blast from the past. I remember seeing this in the theater. I remember enjoying it. I remember just being completely just gobsmacked the whole time watching this. This is just eye candy. The color palette is unreal on this thing and still looks, it's so funny. It looks very Technicolor-ish to me. Like it
does a bit. Yeah. I honestly, I feel like this film to me, they could definitely give it the old master treatment and like
that would be
really
nice. Clean it up.
Really clean it up, really make those colors pop.
Yeah.
Because the colors are just crazy in this movie.
I love it.
Lots of red, lots of gold, black.
Yeah. Those crazy painted.
The skies where it just looks like they dropped like ink and water and just let it all mix together.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Very psychedelic.
Yeah. And it's so interesting to see all these actors and actresses young. Although, does Brian Blessed age? God damn.
I don't know. Brian, he looks always the same. I think he's gray now.
Yeah.
But he roughly looks the same. And he's still got that that voice.
Yeah.
God bless that voice.
God bless that voice. And Timothy Dalton, who is now older.
Who's now older. Yeah.
He's also just magnificent. I love him. I'm going to go around the table and talk to the children and get their impressions. I'm going to start with you, G. What'd you think?
This movie was stupid. It was fun though, and I liked the fact that I could just I didn't really have to pay attention that much.
Yeah.
I didn't want to pay attention to a movie today, so I'm glad that we picked this one instead of the other one.
Because it's very silly.
Yes.
Yeah. What could have made this better for you and less stinky?
I didn't like Flash.
Yeah, why?
He was feeling up that other girl, and then he runs to Dale and is like, let's have kids together. Like, die.
Well, he wasn't feeling her up.
Yeah.
But he let her feel him up, so I don't like that.
I don't like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, there wasn't much room in that little cockpit with him and Princess Aura.
There were 2 seats.
Yeah,
separate
she was
seats.
in his lap the whole time.
Yeah.
So he could have picked her up and sat her butt back in her own seat.
Flash was pretty laissez-faire with resisting Princess Aura.
Aura,
whatever. Princess Aura. Yeah, she's like kissing him and rubbing on him, and he's just like, "How does the plane fly?" And then, he wasn't really pushing her off and saying, "Let's stick to business here." So,
yeah,
but that doesn't mean he doesn't love Dale.
Maybe there's a proof that love at first sight is bullcrap here too, because you know what?
Damn it, it exists.
The truth is that he knew Dale for about a day, so. Where's the real commitment there? Maybe there's a reason why he wasn't shoving. Maybe there was a reason why he wasn't shoving Princess Aura off him. It's just like, I don't know, a day. I don't think I even kissed the girl. Dale was like the long-term relationship, the one that
Aura was you
settled down with. Aura is the party gal.
Yeah, exactly.
Although Aura was getting around, I don't know if I would be partying with that. She's probably got every kind of
venereal disease,
space gonorrhea, whatever.
crabs.
Crabs,
It'd be a
space
special
crabs.
space crabs, exactly.
Yeah,
A
seriously,
brand
she
new
was
species.
she was going around with the Doctor and Baron and maybe even Clytus. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a little weird.
He was a little obsessed with her.
Yeah.
It must have been for a reason. Did you have a favorite character, Jay?
No, I liked Ming
Ming
because
is awesome.
he slayed.
He really
the
did.
outfits.
Those outfits were unreal. Like if I was rich and crazy, I would dress like that. I absolutely would dress like
You
that.
just leave the house with like a giant collar and cape.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it'd have to be in the most
day of the week.
outrageous
colors.
colors.
Absolutely.
Like super
Every
bright.
day of the week, my friends.
Just like
Every day of
shoulder
the week.
length gloves with rings on every single finger.
Absolutely.
Over the gloves.
Just constantly stroking your beard.
His beard was weird. Like
was
it looked
forked.
like it looked like little legs, and then his little mustache was like the arms. It was like he had a little guy on
And his
face.
crazy
He had those
eyebrows.
awesome eyebrows.
Oh
Eyebrows,
my
yeah.
god,
the eyebrows. Oh
His,
my god.
his eyebrow game is unrivaled
What he
to this
lacked,
day.
what hair he lacked on his head, he made up for on his face.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
According to Wikipedia, Flash Gordon is a 1980 space opera superhero movie directed by Mike Hodges, based on the King feature comic strip of the same name created by Alex Raymond. The film stars Sam J. Jones, Melody Anderson, Ornella Muti, Max von Sydow, and Topol, with Timothy Dalton, Mariangela Melado, Brian Blessed, and Peter Weingard in supporting roles. The film follows star quarterback Flash Gordon Jones and his allies Dale Anderson and Han Zarkov Topol as they unite the warring factions of the planet Mongo against the oppression of Ming the Merciless von Sydow, who is intent on destroying Earth. I guess that's
for no reason either. He just likes.
He just felt like
he's
it.
like,
He woke up one Tuesday and
Yeah.
decided, I just want to crush a whole galaxy.
I mean, what really else is there to do?
I mean, when you're
you're emperor of the universe. Yeah. So why not?
I guess you do this for shits and giggles. This the Wikipedia page on this is pretty interesting. Since the 1960s, producer De Laurentiis having produced Danger, Diabolique, and Barbarella, which also felt very like that kind of vibe in this film.
Yeah. Sort of
became interested in a film based on Flash Gordon. Initially, De Laurentiis wanted Italian director Federico Fellini.
God, I can only imagine what that would
direct the picture. Although Fellini optioned the Flash Gordon rights from De Laurentiis, he never made the film. George Lucas attempted to make a Flash Gordon film in the 1970s. Unable to acquire the rights from De Laurentiis, Lucas decided to create Star Wars instead. Oh boy.
Yeah, that was a wise decision.
That was a wise decision. De Laurentiis then hired Nicholas Roeg, the guy who did Witches and what was the other movie that we saw of his?
Don't Look Now.
Don't Look Now.
Oh my God! Would
To
the
make the
Sutherland
film.
have made an appearance in that?
I don't know.
I'm not talking about
Roeg,
the
an
actor.
admirer
I'm
of the
talking about
original
the maneuver.
Alex Raymond comic strip, spent a year in pre-production work. However, De Laurentiis was unhappy with Roeg's treatment of Flash Gordon, and Roeg left the project. De Laurentiis also considered hiring Sergio Leone to direct the Flash Gordon film. Leone refused because he believed the script was not faithful to the original Raymond comic strips. Wow. De Laurentiis then hired Mike Hodges to direct. The lavish sets and costumes were designed by Danilo Donati. Lorenzo Semple Jr. wrote the script.
You know what else I heard about this? That the voice you hear for Flash Gordon is not Sam Jones's voice.
Oh my God. It's so funny that you said that because that came up here. It says, according to a 2012...
And he was pissed about that, and he wouldn't do press for the movie, and it pretty much sandbagged his entire career.
Yeah. So that's, it's so funny. I read that too on the wiki page. According to a 2012 interview in Maxim, Sam J. Jones had disagreements with De Laurentiis of some kind and departed prior to post-production, which resulted in a substantial portion of his dialogue being dubbed by professional voice and dramatic actor Peter Marinker, whose identity was long considered unknown even to Jones. A sequel was proposed, but the departure of Jones effectively ended any such prospects. The airfield scene at the beginning of the film, though set in the U.S., was shot at the Broadford Airfield in Skye, Scotland. I don't know why that sentence is there at the end, but
It's Wikipedia.
yeah. But yeah, I thought that was interesting too, because I mean, I didn't pick up that there were different voices.
In the beginning, you could see it almost looks because they're in that tiny little plane. It's very claustrophobic. You definitely could see his voice isn't quite lining up the way hers is.
Oh wow, I never noticed that before.
It's
either that or I'm not paying attention to it.
It's very minor, but it's definitely there, especially if you know that if that was happening.
Yeah, I just read about that, so I had no idea.
Yeah, I heard about that a while ago.
Interesting. I want to watch the documentary.
That's probably just wild.
I can't wait. You and I are going to watch that after this, maybe later. Olivia, what did you think of the film?
It was amazing. It was a cinematic masterpiece.
Absolutely. Thank you.
It's like the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Okay. I fell asleep during that, so I can't opine, but...
Why do you like it?
It was beautiful. The special effects were just so on peak. It looked like something someone, a high schooler could make. This honestly looks like something a high schooler could make.
Yeah, I mean,
but
this is 1980s.
It's very believable. Like one of my favorite scenes where the special effects really shows is when some guy is falling off the plane and he does this 360 spin in the middle of the air, and you can clearly tell that someone on a computer program clearly spinned him to do that.
You know what? It wasn't even a computer. It was just a camera trick, and he was probably like sitting on like a lazy Susan, just spinning around.
Yeah, that is all practical. Effects.
All practical effects, and
no computer
some
stuff.
Bad green screens.
Yeah,
but
like the creature in the
stump.
In the stump, like that's not real. Or man,
that was
like a puppet.
That was practically just a balloon with like a stick attached to it. They just made growling noises and like rapidly inflated and deflated it so it looked like it was pulsing. Yeah, I would totally believe that kids now with their cell phones and all the photo editing software that comes with it right off the bat could make a film with better special effects than Flash Gordon. Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, they wouldn't have the sets and the great costumes.
Yes.
But as far as making people look like they're flying with hawk wings and stuff, yeah, I bet they could do that.
The flying people in this movie were so funny to look at. They look like the birds in Birdemic.
The birds in Birdemic clearly had like grenades attached to them or something. There's no way in hell a bird explodes on a car on impact.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They were exploding.
Hey, you never know what will happen with climate change.
Yeah, that was like the explanation for the whole movie.
It'll make birds explosive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the Hawkman effects were
pretty cheese.
Pretty bad. I mean, the thing that I found most hilarious about it was they're Hawkmen, but they are probably the slowest things you ever saw flying in the sky. It's like they're trying to launch this attack and they're just like
forever.
Gracefully like floating down to the ship, and they're just getting
shot at.
They're just getting shot and set on fire and dying.
Half of that army died.
There were so many of them.
Yeah.
Half of that army
at least
died, and yet the full army was there.
Hawkman,
they were all there.
You know what? Hawkman was cool with it. He was just like, dive.
Man was
at one point
so
I
proud.
thought he said die.
He could have. He literally, I mean, he may have been saying
dive.
I'm pretty sure he was saying dive, but he may as well have just been saying die. Because they were just flying headlong into laser fire.
As the family fashionista, what did you think of Ming's wardrobe?
It was beautiful. 10 out of 10.
Absolutely. I agree.
The colors are magnificent.
Agreed.
Would you wear giant collars like Ming with maybe a skull cap?
I mean, sometimes I wore skirts as top.
What did we think of Dale's wardrobe?
Who's Dale?
Dale was the girl.
The woman.
Yeah.
But her, I guess, fashion was nice.
Yeah.
You know, I like some of the things.
What about her black bridal dress?
No.
No?
I'm not feeling it.
You didn't like it?
No, I'm not feeling it.
I can see you.
They had some crazy head pieces in this movie.
Yes, they had crazy as hell headpieces.
Yes.
Yeah, like there was that one lady who it seriously looked like she had like a menorah on her head.
They literally looked like they had like candelabras or something on their
candelabra
heads.
menorah.
Yes. Yeah. I top to bottom, I love this film. It's so silly, but I don't care. This
It's the type of silly that stands the test of time.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you got the soundtrack by Queen.
Yes.
They made a song about Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
They sure did, girl. They sure did.
Flash.
It stays in your head too. You save the universe.
Did I get your impressions?
Yeah, I've been talking about it the whole time.
Oh, okay.
I when I was a little kid, I liked this movie. I enjoyed it. I still enjoy it. It's a campy, fun movie. Don't go into it expecting amazing special effects or.
No, the special effects are not great.
But I mean, there's a lot in there that looks cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
even
now, seriously,
2023
Ming looks amazing. Max von Sydow
those eyebrows
is absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a character come from like a comic and be
just brought
shown
to the screen. Yeah.
as perfectly, and the way he played it, just
Fantastic.
insane.
Insane.
He was just condescending, glowering over everything. Just the way he would hold his hand and he would like flex his fingers in his gloves and hold up the little ring.
Yeah.
Everything. And he's just like drinking a glass of wine while his daughter's being tortured. And,
Yeah. He's amazing.
and the lines, bring her forth for our pleasure.
I think I laughed when I heard that because I've heard you say that. Drop that line every once in a while.
So
That is
there's
amazing.
that. Clytus looked amazing.
Ding.
I mean, I've always been a big Doctor Doom fan, but
Yeah.
he looks exactly like Doctor Doom, but like if Doctor Doom was just super fancy.
Yeah.
Looked
Yeah, Dr.
perfect.
Doom
And he
couldn't be
was
as fancy
just
as
like
him.
interesting production. He had like that golden arm
For whatever reason.
and the mask.
Everything.
Everything was perfect. The way the Hawk people looked when they weren't flying looked pretty good.
Yeah.
They look pretty good when they weren't flying. But
And just like
the wing
all the
movement-
background characters, the soldiers that Ming had, that they had sort of like that half skull
Yeah.
that looked sort of like forlorn almost,
Yeah.
but there was like gold, just shining, glittering gold everywhere.
You know, the guards he had inside his place were awful. They have 0 IQ and and when they die, they sound like pigs and horses.
Yeah, the pig guards weren't that spectacular.
They were awful
They
at
were
their
awful.
jobs.
I like the other guards with the gold skull masks.
They probably had no brains.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe they were just like stretched out pigs.
Maybe.
You never know. They had weird snake people.
Oh, I love probably my favorite scene in that movie was when he's like, "Congratulations, you killed this guy. Have a good day." And he drops the sword and leaps up into the air, and he's just like, "Yes!"
On freeze frame.
And freeze frame.
Yeah.
Funny that you should mention that. So, according to IMDb trivia, Flash jumping towards the camera screaming, "Yeah," was improvised by Sam J. Jones. Nobody could figure out how to end the movie.
Are you serious?
Dead ass.
Oh
serious,
my
girl.
God.
That is amazing. That totally tracks. That I believe that statement 1,000%.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of cocaine in the 80s, and especially Dino De Laurentiis
I
movies.
mean,
And
seriously.
yeah,
That totally makes sense.
we'll just wing it.
It all works.
It all worked.
I
yeah.
mean, this movie is now, oh my God, 43 years old. God
this
damn.
film has got kids in college.
Exactly. What is going on?
20 years don't make a difference.
Oh, yeah. This was a review from the 2000s.
God damn,
That was even
man.
before you were born and before I was married.
40 years don't make a difference.
40 years don't make a difference.
About
this is
40 years.
still a little over 40 years. This is still a gosh darn delight.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It's campy. It's fun. It's silly. I'm sad that this didn't become De Laurentiis' Star Wars.
That guy tried.
He really did.
I mean, he was also responsible for Lynch's Dune, wasn't he?
I think so.
He tried to have a Star Wars there.
Yeah.
Didn't work. He tried with this. He had success with Conan.
Conan.
Although
that's
the
right.
second one was garbage.
Garbage.
I mean, I think they were just like, oh, we want to make it more family friendly, and they just didn't understand why the first one worked at all.
All right, so did he produce like Highlander? No.
I don't think that was him. I mean, it could have been. I don't remember his name anywhere on that project though.
Okay. I think according to briefly what I read on Wiki, they were saying that they were going to try and reboot this.
Reboot Flash Gordon?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure.
And it's in several different arenas. I think Disney wanted to do it as an animated, but then said that they would do a live action. Taika Waititi's name was grabbed at some point. I don't know if that's happening, but you know what? Bring this back. I'd love to see it. I mean, I don't think you're ever gonna find another great Ming the Merciless, but I would. Curious. Yeah,
that would be hard.
Yeah.
That would be hard. That would be hard to top. I mean, Max von Sydow he just had this sort
amazing.
of like presence.
Yeah,
everything.
The guy that Ming had the moves.
Yeah,
he sure did. He sure did.
He was able to move around in those robes with grandeur.
And the eyebrows.
Yes.
Man, the eyebrows.
According to Wiki, Edgar Wright says that he used the film as a visual influence for Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I could see that.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's right. Sam Jones is in Ted, the Seth MacFarlane movie.
Just playing himself.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I hope that they do bring this back. I would love to see it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they could do with like some
Reboots.
real special effects.
According to Wiki, since 2014, a new Flash Gordon film has been in the works. 20th Century Fox hired J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay as screenwriters, while Matthew Vaughn was in talks to direct. Mark Brotosevich was hired to rewrite the film's script in January 2016. In October 2018, Overlord director Julius Avery was recruited as director. So that went the rounds, it looks like. An animated film.
To be honest, I could see Matthew Vaughn handling this.
Oh my gosh, that would be fun. Yeah, he did
I could see him putting that sort of like humor into it, and also keeping it just
wild and colorful.
Yeah,
and out of control.
Yeah.
In August.
An animated film was under development at Disney Fox with Thor Ragnarok director Taika Waititi writing and directing. In August 2019, the animated film was canceled, but in July 2021, the film was revived with the plan to make it live action. I'm curious. I am curious to see them bring back Flash Gordon. I would love.
I can see it happen. I mean, everything gets
live action.
Everything gets.
Well, this is live action, yes, but Disney Fox was originally going to do an animated version of it, but then they decided
should have kept it animated.
Yeah, you think?
Animation's better than live action.
Depends.
It depends.
Yeah.
It'd most definitely be better for this.
For this, possibly. You could definitely go.
You can go more.
Out of control.
You can go both ways, but yeah.
You can go wild with animation on this.
Yeah,
that would actually be interesting. And you're not hindered by like crazy, like, oh, we can't do this scene because insurance won't allow our star to be propelled out of a cannon or something silly, right? Like if you're doing you can do anything in animation.
True.
I think that's another reason why that what was that? J.K. Simmons' Invincible thing works so well because it's animated.
Yeah.
So and the color palette that you could use in animation would be unreal. So I'm so happy that this transcended time and just really works because again I've used Krull as the example. I was so disappointed seeing that many years later because it didn't hold up, but this to me still holds up. And you know what, in another 20 years I'll still enjoy this film. I feel that like it's just so simple and fun and sometimes I don't know how it is for you because you're my generation and maybe you get this, but sometimes things like this live in nostalgia, but you can also enjoy them later in life because it was such a fun experience. You attach kind of really good memories to it. Like I remember going to the theater and seeing this thing.
Yeah.
I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember I wore pink corduroy overalls with a white turtleneck shirt underneath. I remember I had like pink and white sneakers. I remember that my hair was in braids. I remember that we had a big tub of popcorn. I remember all these things. And like this to me, just, I don't know. I mean, it's a silly movie. I mean, if I'm going to put this next to Mad Max Fury Road, obviously George Miller's movie is going to beat this out of the ground, into the ground, I should say. But I think for nostalgia seekers, I think for people that love camp, I think for people that love maybe the old comic, the art of storytelling, filmmaking, stories with history, stories with drama, thinking about the backstage stuff that happened with this production. I think...
Or just colorful costumes.
And yes, people that are into fashion, definitely check this out because I think there's a lot of pretty frocks in this thing.
Oh, God, there's a million Halloween costume ideas for this movie.
Absolutely. I mean, I've asked these children if anybody wanted to be Dale Arden. I was so disappointed when I was told no.
Dale's stupid.
Says you.
Yes, says me who watched the movie and is completely correct about the fact that Dale is an unintelligent woman. She's not a good character.
I don't know about that.
You do know. You know deep down that I'm right.
She fell in love as soon as she saw Flash.
And that makes her so much more unintelligent than she already was.
Don't you think Flash is dumber? He actually has to have his name on his shirt. I mean, come on.
And then he still introduces himself to people as if they can't see his shirt.
There's big ass Flash on his chest.
So his intelligence doesn't mean anything about hers. He's already stupid, but she fell in love with him. She likes him.
She did fall in love with him, Jay. You were correct the first.
Sorry, I misspoke, guys. Love at first sight isn't real. Mom's rants and nonsense is getting into my head.
Whatever. You all are incorrect.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Mom's going senile.
Let's wrap this up.
All right, let's get numbers. I'm going to start with you, Ology. 1 to 10.
I'll probably give this like a 7.
7. Gigi.
I'll give it a 7 too.
I'll give it an 8.
I am going to give this an 8.5. It's not a perfect film.
No, there are a lot of mistakes in the movie. There's a lot of dodgy.
Mistakes. I think there's just a lot of interesting choices.
There's some really dodgy special effects that don't hold up. There's but otherwise it's just fun.
Yes.
This isn't
Turn
the type
off your brain and watch this film.
This isn't the type of film you nitpick.
Yeah. This isn't something that's going to save your life. Yeah. It's not going to teach you a lesson. It's not Citizen Kane. It's not going to be in the 100
If you're like a hypercritical film snob, you give this one like a 3 or something.
Yeah.
But for some sort of fun thing to either watch or even just have on in the background during a party or something.
Yeah. This totally tracks.
Perfect. Yeah. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah. Agreed. I'm so happy that my children sat through this. I know that this wasn't your favorite watch experience, but thank you, G, for giving it a chance.
It's still pretty
fun. And thank you for enjoying it, little one, because I know that
you hate old movies. You're like
you hate old movies.
Well, it wasn't black and white, so
maybe that's what saves Flash
that's
Gordon.
what it is. Yeah.
She hates old black and white movies with a passion.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
I despise them.
Terrible.
What the hell?
I made you watch Children's Hour. You enjoyed that. That's a black and white movie.
I don't even remember that movie.
That was the one with the little girl who
you liked Inherit the Wind.
You liked Inherit the Wind.
I can't remember what that movie was either.
The guy has the heart attack at the end. You laughed hysterically.
Oh yeah, that was funny. That was funny. Although the kind of boring and
you liked it. You liked it. You gave it.
She just likes being contrary.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
No, I think the core scene was so boring.
You love Casablanca.
What is Casablanca?
You didn't watch that with us.
Stop gaslighting me, Ma.
I don't think she's ever seen Casablanca.
Really?
Yeah,
Stop gaslighting.
You loved Gaslight.
Yeah.
What's Gaslight again?
That's the woman.
It's the movie where the term comes from.
She's being gaslit by her husband.
Is that the one where he's like,
he's making her crazy.
He's trying to convince her she's crazy, and every time.
Is that the one where she throws the flower pot on them?
No.
I don't even know what that was.
Hush, Hush, Sweet Charlotte or something?
Yes.
What's explain gaslight to me. I want to remember.
Gaslighting is
like
with Ingrid Bergman,
this.
and she's married to this guy. It's like 1800s or something.
Yeah.
And he's purposely trying to make her nuts. And she lives in constant fear because she's just like, she really feels like she's losing her brain.
She's hearing like noises in the attic.
Yeah.
And and every time he's there's nothing there. There's
so
nothing there.
weak-minded.
And basically anytime something weird happens, the gaslights start acting up.
Yeah.
Which is where the term gaslight, because
So that movie is what coined the phrase, the word.
Yes.
Like really? They didn't.
Yeah, because he's basically gaslighting her. He's making her think that he's making.
But
her,
was this a word before the movie?
I don't think it was a term before.
I don't think it was a term
out.
before.
So that movie literally created the word.
Kind of. I mean, I think in that instance in the film, the gaslight was just.
It was just a metaphor for the deception that was happening.
And I think it was more to call attention to the gaslight.
Yeah, that was like a clue.
This was the clue.
This was the clue that something that it wasn't ghosts. It was somebody coming in through the attic through a secret door, and I think something needed it caused the gas to flicker or something like that. I forget the actual details of it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in a
but
hot minute.
it's explained in the movie.
Yeah,
but they don't actually say in the movie,
You're gaslighting
me. No, somebody watched this movie and then used that term as
and it's stuck. And it's a good word because
it is. I like that word.
Yeah, it accurately states what action is happening. So yeah, but get on over to whatever platform you can. Thanks to Uncle Jay for his copy of this film. We love you, Uncle Jay. And if you can find it, definitely check it out. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And that's it from us. And we will bid everyone a
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.